Oh, my ears! Oh, why does he still use that ship? Ah! Welcome back, everybody, to this Let's Play of Mega Man 2 for the NES. And now we get the newest addition to the Mega Man universe, Dr. Wily's Castle. Which has many levels, as people might be able to tell. It has 6 as a matter of fact. And of course, the best song that has ever come out of Mega Man 2. In fact, I would dare say it's probably the first song that got the with lyrics treatment by Brentalfloss. And if people haven't heard this song, it's pretty freaking funny. And I love this whole aesthetic right here, Alex, of being able to start outside of his fortress, okay? And it's not just like 3 seconds worth. It is like you're taking care of all of his outer outposts before going in. Now, people might also know that I'm going to stick to the Metal Blade quite often. Why? Again, it's broken as hell. And the other reason is it's broken as crap. And I need every advantage that I can get. See what I did there? NES advantage. You've never even seen that controller.
I've seen it.
Yo, you've seen an advantage?
Yeah. I didn't have one, but I've seen it.
Yeah. And as I told everybody beforehand, we're going to be using the items a lot more in these levels, simply because they actually do incorporate them. So, the only downside of that is the items' energy goes down really fast. So I have to be really, really careful with it. In fact, at this point, I really have too low for number 3, and I just screwed myself. So now I need to go collect more energy so that I can go forward. But it's okay, right? Of course it is, because these things are perfect to farm. Oh, hi there, little squiggly guys. Metal Blade! Andrea, how are you getting how do you feel on your first Dr. Wily's Castle here?
I think it's interesting.
But we haven't come across the big moments yet for you?
No, not yet.
That have gotten you interested? Okay. Well, we've got enough energy, so now we're going to go up into the castle. Oh, look! It's our friend Joe. Believe it or not, these robots are always called Joe. They just have different responsibilities. So there's like Hammer Joe and Gunner Joe, and
they just look like they're in radiation suits there.
Even though they're robots?
Yeah.
Because it's the Mega Man universe. Everything is robots. Alright, so this Joe is done. Yo, Joe.
Is that what they're seriously called?
That is seriously what they are called, Joe. And the little guys with the hard hats, they're called Met.
Now, is the Joe thing, like, true for both languages, or is it just sort of a Capcom America thing?
I'm not quite sure. I think it translates as both. But I would not be able to answer you that correctly at this time, at least in my assumption. Okay, so this is actually the entrance into Dr. Wily's Castle.
Now we're passion pink.
Yes, we're going in with style, Alex. And of course, we start off with everything looking really dark and only tiny platforms. And the screen just started moving on its own. Holy crap! Robo-Dragon! This was cool when you were a kid. It's just like, what the crap just happened? I will admit this time, I actually did not do the right thing, but next time we'll get him. You're supposed to actually get up to higher ground, because if you're down on the lower one, you're just gonna get knocked off.
Makes sense, yeah.
I've seen videos actually do it, where they're just rapid firing the boomerang, but I'm not that good, so... Boom, 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 boom! Thankfully, I don't have to go energy farming just yet, because I'm kind of worried about the item 1 for that one area we just passed. because we're coming up on it right now. So see, there you go. It's like the perfect utilization of the 3 items to get to the next area. So thus far, we've used items 1 and 3. We'll use item 2 in a couple of the levels. But now we're back to the entrance, and now it's time to go in styling.
Yeah, with that dragon again.
See, I'm kind of surprised. We're the ones that made the comments. Andrea hasn't made the comment that we're Pink Mega Man right now.
Well, I was thinking it'd be like the Pink Power Ranger there.
But too much pink energy is dangerous. And Quick Man's not dangerous, so that wouldn't work. In fact, I actually did read this in a Mega Man 2 trivia. The reason Quick Man is pink is because you've kind of seen the samurai motif he has. Sakura blossoms. That's why he's pink.
Okay, I see.
So, makes sense when you think about it that way.
I have heard in Japan it is, or it probably still is, in fact, that pink was considered a masculine color.
Yeah, and so at that point, but it's still funny, because as kids, me and my brother even kind of looked at each other and went, it's pink. Alright, level 2. And obviously you can tell we're in the inner workings of Dr. Wily's lab. Or castle, anyway. Alright, so speaking of item 2, we have this vast gap in which we don't have any way across. Oh, but wait, we kind of do, because item 2 is a surfboard. We're going Marty McFly style.
Yeah, Marty McFly style.
Alright, so actually if you push it out a little further, you can get like an additional item. I'm not willing to do that. See, that energy tank would have been helpful, but I'm good. So the deeper and deeper we go. Now, we already had the mention of the pink. I mean, what are people's thoughts on Crash Man here? Because I don't think that's any kind of a blossom. And he's just a really awkward orange or peach.
Looks orange to me, so why not?
Yeah, it looks like he's orange.
I actually did try to compare it to a crayon at one point when I was a kid. I think it was like peach or apricot is what the color was. I had no life as a kid.
Not sure we should use Crayola as a good rule of measure.
When's the last time any of us have used crayons?
Like
elementary school.
Yeah, elementary school.
Because it was like later on in elementary school when I got obsessed with using markers. Mainly because, well, my family got sick and tired of horrid crayon stains being on my hands all the time. And also, I wouldn't shut up about the fluorescent marker, or the fluorescent crayons. Because I wanted those. And more spike bits.
Yeah, I used to like doing color pencils over crayons.
Yeah, but they still kind of left a residue on you, too, though. Alright, so boss number 2 is the room! So...
Oh, hi, Mega Man.
He said, oh, hi, Mega Man. So good to see you. In case you hadn't guessed yet, yes, the whole purpose of this is we have to defeat all the blocks in this area. And we're almost done. Woohoo! Oh, this is just so hard, isn't it, Alex? It's so difficult! You ain't seen nothing yet.
But you haven't killed all the blocks in there.
Nope, but we killed enough. We killed enough, Andrea, and that's all that matters. So on to level 3 of Dr. Wily's castle. And I remember in a previous video, Andrea asked a very curious question. How high can you actually jump while in water? This is the level that you'll get your question answered. Because it just so happens we're going to be going into the area where all of Dr. Wily's nuclear sludge is. See? It's all poo water. You can jump as high as you can get to the surface. Then you follow normal jump mechanics. And ooh! To quote Qui-Gon Jinn here, there's always a bigger fish.
Yeah, but it almost reminded me of the fish from Sonic.
Yeah.
That jump out of the water.
Ooh! This is a really hard part where you actually do have to position Mega Man so he doesn't hit a single spike while he's falling. So, I do have one failure here, I will admit. Now, I know one of the questions Alex is probably asking right now is, Adam, you've had, like, energy tanks and extra lives show up in front of you. Why don't you get them?
Yes, Adam, why don't you get them?
Technically, if you were trying to speed run through this thing, it's not wise. Because you're going to need Crash Man's power later. And it's very limited. So that is actually why. Plus, the boss here doesn't really require an energy tank either. And okay, we're past the bigger fishes. It's time to sleep with the bigger fishes.
Well, yeah, those spike ball things kind of remind me of those things from Legend of Zelda.
Yep.
Link's Awakening.
Exactly. Alright, and this is actually near the end. Yep, there we go. Now, interesting story, when I was a kid, I actually hit those 2 spike balls at the end and was like, oh crap, man, that's totally cheap! Okay, so, what could be the next boss? What could we be facing next? I'll tell you what we're facing. We're facing something back from the past. Welcome, everybody, to the Guts Tank! Now, this guy might look a little familiar to you, Alex. It's Gutsman!
Yes.
He's been re-implemented as the Guts Tank. I always thought that was a little handy. He kind of shows up in games every now and then. And internet memes, but we're not going to talk about those. But in the meantime, we're actually going to go ahead and cut it off for this week. Next time, when we get back, it's Wily time.